Oh my gosh, I love your set. Where did you get it?
Oh, actually, I crocheted it myself.
Ooh, handmade. So adorable.
Thanks.
That is the ugliest effing set I've ever seen.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We finally made it. It is the end of the year and I have spent the past 2 days digging through everything in my entire house to find all of the pieces that I have made. Now, I didn't count every single glass piece, but I did manage to get up to 114 pieces. That's a lot of stuff. Today we are going to be taking a trip down memory lane and looking at all of my worst crochet fails. Shed a tear. And now for all of the people I want to put in their 2 cents. These are my top rated worst things personally. You might think they're great. I, on the other hand, don't care too much about them, and that's okay. We're allowed to have our different opinions. I think we should just take a walk down memory lane and just bask in their awfulness, you know? Because I think at some point I'm gonna like frog them, so may as well take the time to look at them while they're still in pieces. I think I'm gonna score these. I'm gonna rate them on a scale from, or not scale. Is it a scale? What do you call this? I'm just gonna do a top 10. I'm gonna start off with 10 as the least egregious thing that I made. Maybe there was just some little minor fault to it that I didn't love that, you know, unfortunately put it on this list. And then we're gonna end off with, you know, number 1 being the thing that truly disappointed me the most. And that will probably be the first thing that I frog after I finish this video. So, but let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get straight into these disappointments. Alrighty, hi guys. New day, new location, but let's go ahead and take a look at these things. The first thing I have here are a pair of granny stitch like lounge shorts that I tried making. Now, just looking at them, I guess it doesn't look like there's really all that much that's wrong with them. But first off, the legs aren't the same length. Like one is, maybe not on camera, but one is visibly shorter than the other when you put them on. And also the back, I don't like how it's not centered. Like when I hold them straight, this little like slit thing, it's off to the side. Like it should actually sit right here. That would be centered, but the shorts are just like lopsided and I don't like that. Also, I don't like the fit of them. They're kind of like big and boxy, and I think part of that might have to do with the fact that I used acrylic yarn, but that's okay because I'm going to be taking these apart. I don't like them. I like the idea of them, but the actuality of them I'm not too crazy about. Next up is something that I made very early on in the year. This is not crocheted, this is knit. At first I was going to just leave it the way it was. I decided to go in and put this blue little trim around like all of the, you know, sides and stuff, but I don't like it. The sides were open and I had ribbon like to tie up the sides, so it was like that at first and I didn't like it. So then I took it, well, I didn't take it apart, but I decided to go ahead and close up the insides, which looks a lot better. I tried closing them up as best as I could, but it just leaves these weird little marks and I don't really like that. This top was a big disappointment. I feel like it had a lot of potential, but things just weren't turning out as planned. I'll definitely have to give this another try though, because I do think it has a lot of potential. And I'm really upset that this actually didn't work out. I like how I did the actual ribbing of it. Like, look how nice and neat that is. Such a shame. It is what it is. This was a really big learning lesson. Next we have this, which was supposed to be a little like cardigan sweater situation, but I ran out of yarn and I didn't get to finish it. And I also kind of started to hate it the more I kept going with making it. So oopsie daisy. I think I'll redo something like this, except I'm not going to use acrylic yarn. This is another project that I made very early on in the year. As a matter of fact, I think all of these projects that I ended up hating were things that I made like early to mid of this year before I like came to the realization that I hate acrylic yarn. But nonetheless, this is what it looks like. It had potential, just like the other things. The sleeves aren't finished, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. All I can say about this is that I tried. I just don't like it. I don't even mind that it has a bunch of like strings like hanging down loose. I think it actually looks kind of cool with them there. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that I don't like it. So that was that. Next we have this, which is truly, I don't know what the heck I was thinking when I made this, because I don't know. So next up I made this balaclava. What I don't like about it is that I think the yarn I used was a little too thick for this project, because when I actually wear it, I just look like a Teletubby and it's not cute. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. 0 stars, do not recommend. But I do love this yarn that I use. This is a really pretty green and it's a little like shiny. So I'll have to take this apart and repurpose this yarn, but I don't really know what else to say about this. This is just not cute at all. Next up we have this skirt. So I made a little like Miu Miu dupe of a top, and I thought it would be cute to make like a little matching skirt to go with it. But hold on, wait, which is, oh, I think this is the top. And this is how it came out looking. It just, again, acrylic yarn. I shouldn't have used acrylic yarn. It looks like a DIY home project or some sort of school project that like your kid makes and brings home, and they're like so excited and they want you to like sit in the dining room and you're like, oh, sure. It's just not cute. And I didn't do a good job of seaming up the inside of this. So you can see it on the outside. I also probably shouldn't have used black yarn to do this, because you can see it so clearly from the other side. But like, look how janky that is stitched. That's just trifling. But I don't know. This is also getting taken apart. There's no way in the world I'm keeping this as is. There was a point in time where I was like, well, maybe I'll just make it a pillow cover. But no, I don't even like it as that. And also, I didn't know how to color change like properly and like weave in as you go. So all along it in like different places, you can see like where the yarn is coming out. Doesn't fit right. I don't like the length. I don't like the colors of the yarn that I used. I just don't like anything about it. Next project I have is also another skirt. This was my very first maxi skirt that I made. It is very long, and it got even longer because originally the oh, nope, I think it's still crooked. Okay, well, the bottom is crooked. I didn't do my not increases. I didn't do the ends of my rows right, so somewhere along the way I started like getting a slant at a certain point. I did eventually like figure out how to fix it, but I was too far into it that I wasn't going to take it apart. But so I tried to block it and make it even, and by default it, you know, stretched the skirt out and it made it longer, but the bottom's still not even. So I don't really know if that was even worth my time. Actually, no, it wasn't worth my time because I don't like it. I think the only thing I do actually like about this is the fact that I put this really high like slit in it, and I think that's kind of cute. But everything else about this is just a flop. Absolute flop. I'll need to make another one because I really do want one really good maxi skirt. And then in the exact same yarn that I used to make that hot mess of a maxi skirt, I tried making a little sweater vest. I tried to make this a little bit oversized, and oversized it did come out, but it doesn't look right. It doesn't sit right. The biggest fail on this is the way the like top part of the sleeve, not the sleeves, I don't know, just this front part. I don't know how to describe it, but like the front halves where they meet and they're supposed to like connect. I don't know how to describe it, but you can see the shape is really weird. Like my chest is up here, but the buttons and stuff and the curve is all the way down here. And the bottom ribbing on this is really weird. So when you go to like button it up, it doesn't like meet up at the ends, like they still fan out. Oh gosh, this was just a mess. I don't see, like, I don't like that little you can't really see it. It's so hard to hold this because it's so big, but I don't like how I don't like it. I just don't like it. I definitely want to do this over again. I thought the concept was cute of having like a matching maxi skirt and like a little sweater vest situation. I just didn't execute either of these projects very well. But the one thing I do like about this is how I decided to go in and put these little beads on here. I am going to try and do this over again. Definitely not an acrylic yarn, but concept was pretty good, so I'll give myself some credit for that. So my next couple of fails are literally all of the swimsuits that I've made. They're just not practical and they feel weird on, but specifically this gray one that I made, the top, I don't know, I guess there's not really anything wrong with this. I just don't love it. I think the biggest disappointment of this gray swimsuit were the bottoms. I did not do them right. As a matter of fact, I can't even get this part untied to like tie it properly. So it's like literally not wearable. But the bottoms fit really weird. They're not flattering. They like don't fully cover your butt, and that's just simply because I didn't crochet enough rows. But I was like, it would look so big if I did them any bigger than this. But maybe that's because they don't like stretch the same or something. I don't know. And I don't really care to figure out the physical like man error that I did when making that, because I'm just not making anymore. And then these are a pair of swimsuit bottoms that you never saw. And no particular reason, I just forgot about them. But they look like this. Why does it look like that? I didn't use a pattern or anything like that. Like I literally just tried to copy a pair of swimsuit bottoms that I already had. They weren't like crochet, they're regular swimsuit bottoms of that swimsuit material. And yeah, they're not really, they're not wearable. This is a mess. Oh God, this is so bad. I don't know. Maybe I could like, oh no. Okay, maybe I can like find a way to make this a top. Like if I do it like this, maybe I'll have to try it on, see if that works, and then I can crochet from there down. These just did not look right. And then the last two disappointments that I have here are two things that I actually started off the year making. I think this was my very first or very second project that I did. They're both knit. It was this little bandeau top, which, I don't know. This didn't have to be a fail, but the way it curls up, I couldn't get it to uncurl properly. I didn't even finish the back. Oh, I did not attach the sleeves on properly, so they're like falling off. They don't look right. I should have just been a bit more careful when doing this, but this isn't even the thing that disappointed me the most. The most disappointing thing is this very long duster sweater. I don't know what you would actually call this, but I made this super big multicolored knit sweater. It is unbelievably long and just big and obnoxious. There are several things that went wrong with this. One, I knitted each panel as its own instead of like just making one and then splitting it later once I got up to the top to make the two front halves. So when I went to go and connect them, it's not connected properly. You can see the yarn. It's very messy. I don't like how I put this together at all. I don't like my color combinations that I chose on this, and I do not like how I used thinner yarn and then I used this really thick, chunky yarn. I don't really think they look all that great together. And then because I wasn't counting my rows, and it wasn't because I was trying not to count them, at this point I just really didn't know how to count like knit rows. So the front two panels are way longer than the back panel, and I didn't want to take it apart after, you know, all the hard work that I had. Like I literally injured myself making this thing. but I didn't want to go back and take it apart, so I just rolled up the bottom front and then tied it so that way hopefully it would like hold. But I shouldn't have done that because it just makes it look that much more messy and like not properly put together. Oh, and how could I forget the back part, like right here. Of course, I wasn't aware of this when I was making it, but this yellow that goes into this like bright green kind of color, these two are like right where your butt is. And because of the color change, it like has this weird kind of scrunching that goes on right in this area. So it looks like this part of the sweater is like scooping your butt. And I don't really like that. That's not necessarily the vibe I was going for. Might not be the biggest of things in the world, but it was definitely something that I noticed and I immediately did not like it. Ooh, wow. And when I was closing up these sides, I really messed it up. Like I can tell that I did not know how to close up sides properly. I couldn't really tell where my stitches were. Look how messy that is. Like some of my stitches are actually grabbing into the next row after that, like, and it's creating big holes. Yikes. So those are all the things that I attempted to make this year that did not turn out quite the way I would have liked. I think the majority of these I am going to go back and try to redo them because I don't think the idea itself was bad. It was just poor execution. And those are things that can very easily be fixed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Christmas for another video. Bye guys.